Hi, I'm Margot Escott in Naples, Florida, and so excited to talk to you today on behalf of Arts for All for Florida and the wonderful art form that I teach. It's improvisational theater. Now, improv theater started in this country during the Depression. There was a place called Hull House in Chicago, founded by the first social worker in our country, Jane Addams, and I'm a social worker myself. And she had some very talented actors and play enthusiasts who came to work there at Hull House to teach the children from all different countries how to play. And they developed a book that was written by Viola Spolin called Improvisation for the Theater. So, what is improv anyway? Well, we could say it's like watching a drama unfold on stage, but the actors haven't been given lines and they haven't been told where to block for the camera. So it's making things up, but there are certain strong suggestions we have in improv. The first one is to say yes to any idea your partner comes up with. So if my partner said to me, Margot, I think it's really cool that you brought your giraffe to work today, I would say yes. And then I would say, and yes. And my giraffe goes with me everywhere I go. He's my support animal. So we agree with something that's been said, and then we add the word and to add something onto it. And then it goes back to our partner. One of the things that's really exciting about improv is a lot of it can be done without real words. And there's something we call gibberish. And think about children from all different countries playing together but not being able to speak the same language. And so these teachers, Viola Spolin and Neva Boyd, developed the language gibberish, which is like this. Bush baba, oh baba. It's made up syllables and sounds, and we communicate by what we call our space work and our emotional content. So if I say to you, Bush ba ba oh ba, you may understand I've just given you a cup of delicious coffee. Maybe it would be better if I went Bush ba ba, okay ba. Ah, bia 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 bia. Oh, bia ba ba. Go ba. And that's a brief sample of gibberish. Now, I've used the word space work because in space work, we show rather than tell what we're doing. And some improv theaters call this object work. But we learn to do things with our hands and our bodies to show what's going on rather than speaking about it. So if I went up here and got a ball of clay and I'm working with my ball of clay and then I'm going to make it into something, okay, catch, and I could make it into something else with that invisible clay. Ooh. I've got a paintbrush and I'm painting a picture. There's so many different things we can do with space work where we can show but not have to use words to communicate. And this is really important for kids when they're just developing vocabulary. My favorite classes happen to be kindergarten classes because they're extremely creative and they don't have pre-formed ideas about what is real and what is not real. For example, I often go into my class with a beret on my head. And I will pick my beret up and I'll say to the students, this is my hat. And they'll all say, yeah, that's your hat. And then I'll take a look at it and say, this is my frisbee. And there'll be a little bit of puzzlement in the beginning. And then they'll recognize, yeah, that's a frisbee. Then I could say with the same beret in my hand, this is a plate of spaghetti. Or maybe I could be more polite and get my fork and eat my spaghetti that way. So we can show a lot of different things with our movement, with our hands, with our arms. We can show things also with our facial expressions. We can look terribly happy, or we can look terribly scared, or maybe we look a little confused, or maybe we look a little afraid. Oh. So we can show our emotions by how we use our facial expressions and our hands. And this teaches the student different ways of expressing and identifying emotions. Improv has bursted into our public awareness with the show Whose Line Is It Anyway? And if you've never seen it, it's still available on TV, where they had some very talented improvisers playing improv games like we just were talking about. But if you see the show, remember, they're professional comedians and actors, and they've been doing it for a long time. Whereas I've been doing it kind of a bit of a long time, but I've also been teaching for a while, and I get such joy from teaching because in improv, we talk about there are no failures. Think about that a minute. We have a phrase, there are no failures, there are no mistakes. So, for example, if you're in the dance form of ballet and you don't do the plie correctly, well, you've got to do it again until you get it right. But whatever you say in improv, we think of as a gift. So, no matter what it is, even if it's non sequitur, doesn't quite make sense, we celebrate that and we yes and on it. So, for example, we're playing a game, and sometimes we play a game called One Word Story, which is where in a circle of 8 to 10 students, we tell a story one word at a time. Improvisation is great for listening skills. It's really important for that. And so in improv classes, we learn to listen very carefully. For example, in the one word story, we need to know what the person before us said. Now, we may think, oh, I know where this story should go, and we have it all plotted out in our minds. But if the person before us says something entirely different from where we thought it should go, we have to yes and that word and keep playing the game. This is a fun game you can play at home with even just 3 or 4 people doing a one word story. It's a lot of fun and it really helps to improve our listening skills. So this is why I love improv. There's so many benefits to it. It helps our memory, it helps cognitive learning, and it's a lot of fun. If nothing else, improv is full of fun and laughter. And I invite you to take a local improv class in your neighborhood. There's a lot of improv classes offered in person and virtually today. I hope you'll give it a try because I tried it once and I loved it so much. Now I teach it. Have a great day.